Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're all doing really well today. It's very cold outside. I'm going to be making some little earrings with you today. They're shooting stars. Well, that's how I've done them. You can look at them as whatever you like. They're really pretty. Got lots of lovely coloured crystals, little bit of tiger tail, and a pretty little star. They're very straightforward to make, and you can do lots of different things with them. So if you wanted to make them all the same length, the little kind of dangles, you can do. I've cut and staggered them, so I'm just adding a different amount of crystals onto each offshoot. I don't know how to call it. I don't know what to refer to it. Shooting stars don't have legs. Tails. But you could have them all the same length if you want to. So let me know how you're doing, what you're up to. Have you had a nice weekend? It's Monday again, isn't it? Anastasia's in the chat. Good morning to you, or good evening to you, Anastasia. She says peace and love from Atlanta, Georgia. Rachel says she's in a bright and cold Barrow. It's not bright here, it's just really bitter. Good morning to Jackie. Jan's in as well. She says it's very chilly but bright in Sudbury. I'm just going to pop my hand on the radiator next to me and try and warm my hands up a little bit. Good morning to Carol as well, who's popped in to join us. So I'll take you over to the website and I'll show you all the different colours that you can choose. You could multi-buy if you wanted to. You could do a mix. That'd look really lovely if you wanted to mix those colours up. But you don't need much today. In terms of tools, a ruler just to measure out my tiger tail and my cutters, some chain nose pliers to open up my little loop on my ear loop, and also to crimp my crimp beads, which reminds me, I'm going to have to get my crimp beads out my kit. I thought it was all ready and all organised, and I'm not. So you really don't need that much at all to make these lovely little earrings. And I think they'd be very good for, New Year, to be honest, because I think they're quite party-like. Obviously, as well with stars, they're quite suitable for kind of Christmas time. I think they'd be suitable for all ages. And it's also, although you're going to get your tiger tail in your kit, it's a good way of using up those offcuts of tiger tail. So whenever I'm making something, and I always say, keep that. You could use that for fringe jewellery or whatever. You could also use it for this. So have a little look in your stash. But do head over to the website because we've got the most beautiful coloured crystals and, of course, those stars. You can't have a shooting star without the star bead itself. Good morning to Jackie. Hello to Jan. Good morning to Carol. Hello to Linda. She says good morning to her beading family from a very dull Watford. So I'm going to take you over to the website. We are on totallybeads.co.uk. Hopefully I'll be able to share this okay, and my sound will stay as it should be, and you can see this all right. Let me know if that's looking okay for you. So I'm going to head into the video tutorial section. Now we have got a fabulous offer on today. It should have finished, I think, yesterday. It was just a weekend offer, but Simon's obviously in a very generous mood today, so thanks, Simon. He's going to offer anyone in the UK free delivery on your orders over £15, and that will be lasting up until midnight tonight. So when you go to checkout, if you type in NOV, as in November, NOV 24 UK, you'll be able to get free delivery on anything over £15 if you're in the UK, which I think is fabulous. So go shopping and have a little look. What bits do you need for stocking up your stash? What projects would you like to have a little play with? Are there any particular beads that you want or anything that you're going to be using to make over the festive period? £15 is all you need to spend to get that free delivery in the UK with code NOV24 UK up until midnight tonight. So thanks for that, Simon. These are the shooting star earrings that I'm going to be demoing for you today. I think everything's looking okay, which is good. Thanks, Elaine, and good morning to Anne as well. I'm going to say good very early morning to Anastasia, because it's only 5 a.m. where she's watching from, and Sue's in as well. So these are the shooting star earrings. As you can see, we've got loads of different colours. Now, if there's a colour there that, isn't there, you can always go in and have a little look at what others we've got if you wanted to add them to your kit. So they're £3.50 for a pair of earrings. It's making it one pair of earrings, and we've got them in metallic dark pink, we've got metallic hematite, metallic light gold, metallic light green, metallic sea green, metallic silver, and metallic violet blue. So I've used all the gorgeous metallic colours, and you can see I have staggered the different ends. That Tigertail's also kind of going to give you that shape to it, so it will look like it's bursting out of that star, but you could keep them all the same ends if you wanted to, as in the same length. So I'll show you how they look. These are the dark pink, very, very shiny, very, very shimmery. All of your findings will be in a rhodium colour, so your star will match your crimp beads and your ear wires as well. I'm not using any jump rings with this. I'm just going to make them very simple and very easy to make, and this is the beautiful metallic pink. So if you have a little look, if you scroll down, you can see the antique silver metal bead star is 6.5 millimeters, and you're getting 2 of them in your kit to make your pair of earrings. And then we've got those gorgeous micro crystals, and they are round, but they're faceted, so you've got gorgeous shimmer on them, on that beautiful metallic look, and they are 1.5 millimeters, so they are tiny but bold and colourful. So in your kit, you're going to get those micro crystal beads, your star beads, a pair of earring hooks which are nickel free on a rhodium colourway, and you're going to get your crimp beads and your tiger tail as well. So that's how lovely those metallic pink ones are. Just £3.50 for your pair of earrings today. Of course, you can multi-buy, and if you want to mix those colours up, you can do. This one here is the hematite, which is lovely. It's just the colour is hematite. It's not the actual stone itself, but that beautiful kind of almost like a frosted black, really, really gorgeous. You can see they are faceted, so they've got that twinkle and shimmer on there. And that's how they look. So you can have a little scroll down. All of your findings and everything in your kit is going to be the same, whichever colourway you pick. The only thing that changes colour is these beautiful crystals that we're using. These are the light gold. These are very party-like, aren't they? And you can, because of that tiger tail, you can kind of manipulate it to, to shape. So you can kind of put little bends in them if you wanted to kind of get it more fluted out at the bottom. You could do whatever you want. So they're the lovely light gold colourway. I also made a pair in the light green, which I think is very, very pretty. Love this colour. So you can see there how twinkly they are. I feel like I should have given these a name, like Wish Upon a Star or something. But I just call them shooting stars because that's what they look like to me. Could have been very nice over bonfire night as well, to be honest, because they are like little fireworks, I suppose, too. So you can see there, that's the metallic light green colour. Those star beads are lovely. You've got that kind of etched marking, so it looks like you've got a star within a star. So the star bead is shaped as a star, but you can see those kind of that dark inlay to make it look extra star-like shaped as well. And they're nice and chunky. You've got a nice drill hole in there, which is going to be able to fit all of those tiger tail ends through and secure really easily at the top of your ear wire. So as I say, you are going to get your tiger tail in your kit, but if you've got any offcuts, you could always use that as well if you're looking for a way of using up any additional materials that you've got. This one is your metallic sea green, so you can see they are slightly different from the last green. This has got a little bit more of kind of turquoisey colour to it, I think. Love them. I don't know why, but that metallic sea green, now I'm looking at it, it's making me think like 80s. It's taking me back to I don't know, certain colours have different kind of emote different things, and for me, I'm feeling a bit retro with that one. This one here is your metallic silver, so they are very sparkly and very shiny. Again, you can mix these up. I think they would look lovely as, like, if you wanted to do more of a firework look, to get a couple of strands maybe of these micro crystal beads, you could always add these in as an extra. If you think, I'm going to buy that one pair of earrings, but I'm going to add in the extra metallic silver or whatever, you don't have to multi-buy the kits. If you didn't want to, you could just buy the additional strands of those micro crystal beads, and you could do kind of like a multicolored drop. This is the colorway that I'm going to be demoing for you today. This is the metallic violet blue, and I just love them. They're really, really gorgeous. So lots of different colours to choose from. Each colourway is just £3.50 for whichever one you choose. You can get them they're all metallic, but you can get the dark pink, the hematite, your light gold, your light green, your sea green, your silver, and your violet blue. Let me know in the comments which ones do you like the look of, and I'm going to try and have a little fiddle with my settings, because it's had an update, and it just, everything just, I can't swap my cameras over. Everything's really weird, and I don't like it. I managed to get it where I thought I could just be on the corner here and I could make that work. But then now we've got, like, just, I feel like I'm gigantic, and no one wants to see me gigantic at this time of the morning. Please let me know if the screen's okay and you can see, and if I pop that there, you'll be able to see down on the mat. So who else have we got in? We had the lovely Anne arrive, Susan, Carol's in, Shelley's here, Pauline's in as well. She says, on this cold morning, good morning to everybody. Joanne's in as well. She says it's damp here in Coventry. Granddaughter's gone to sleep, so I may get to sit and watch the full demo. We have to be really quiet, Joanne, so we don't wake her up. Good morning to Sally. She says, I can't hear, maybe catch you later. Oh, the volume's just come up. She's just a long way from me in Torbay. Hopefully all the sound and everything is all right for you. So you can see these lovely sparkly earrings. I love how the star's just got that kind of darker inner star in it. And you can see these have got a little bit of strength. Hi Kim, all the way in Tennessee. Thank you for joining me. So they do kind of stick out. They're not scratchy, because we've secured those with the little crimp beads, but they hold their shape. So if you wanted, you could add on the same amount of beads. I'm going to give you, for a pair of earrings in this design, I think there's 132 of these beautiful little crystals. However, if you wanted, you could have them all the same length if you didn't want that staggered look. But how I've put these together is on the outer shoots, and again you can readjust these so you can position them how you want, but on these outer tails I've used 13 of the crystals on each one. So this one's got 13 and that one's got 13. Then I put 10 on these two here. The one at the front has got 5 little crystals on, and then one in the center has got 15. And the reason why I've done that is because I think it gives it more of kind of movement look to it. But of course, if you wanted, you could just put 10 crystals on each one, and it would look just as beautiful. So these are those gorgeous metallic pink ones. You can see we've got the silver here. Good morning, Emmeline. How are you doing? So you can see we've got difference in the green. So this one further to the left is the metallic sea green, and then the one on the right is the light green. So you can see there is a difference in those gorgeous crystals. They would look really beautiful, I think, mixed. So each of your earrings pairs are £3.50. You can multi-buy if you want to, or you could just add in those extra strands. We've got the beautiful light gold here. If you wanted to, you could do all of one colour and then just finish with a different colour. And then this is what I'm demoing for you today. The very, very pretty violet blue ones. Morning, Mum, you all right? So, very straightforward to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 3 pieces of my tiger tail. Your tiger tail will come in the kit. I think this one is a 0.45, but although I'm going to have kind of 6 little tail end offshoots, essentially, on my earrings, I'm going to be folding it over, so I only need 3 strands. So I'm cutting each one of those strands to about 12 centimetres each, which is about 5 inches. You can see it's got a lovely strength to it because it is very fine pieces of wire, and then it has that nylon coating over the top of it. So I'm going to get my lovely star bead out. You can see how this looks if I hold that there for you. So it's nice and chunky. It's got that antique look to it, so it's almost kind of like patinaed to give it that dark star inlay in the inside. Hello to Kim, I hope you're doing well. She says to Anastasia, you're my neighbour. So I'm guessing, are you both in Atlanta, Georgia, or are you just both in America? You can see that drill hole is a nice generous size as well. So I'm going to kind of go in through the top. So you can see on my pointed star, I've got 5 little points. So 1, 2, 3 at the top, 2 at the bottom. So I'm going to come through the top here and I'm going to have it that way round. You could, if you wanted, turn it and you could have it facing that way. But I feel if I'm going to give it a direction, I'm going to have that point right at the top. It is the same on both sides, so it doesn't matter how you pick that up. It's very shiny. It doesn't want to focus. So I'm going to take my 3 ends of the tiger tail and I'm going to pop it down the point of the star. So all 3 ends come out of the bottom. And then all I'm going to do is bend it over. Don't worry if they're slightly staggered. And I'm just going to thread the other 3 ends back through. And the tiger tail, all now kind of 6 pieces, should technically fit through that star nice and easily. So I've got that loop. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep those together. So just give it a little push and then my tiger tail should sit nicely just through the top of that. At this point now, I'm going to attach my ear wire. Now you could, if you wanted, attach a jump ring, a small jump ring onto that, but the ear wire opens up, so I'm just going to use that. So I'm going to take a pair of pliers and I'm going to give it a little twist to flick up, and then going to place that over that loop and close it back again. And then you can either push your star up and slide it up, or you can pull gently on the ends of the tiger tail. Now I want that loop to sit nice and close to the point of the star. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just gently going to give each little end a little pull down just to tighten that loop out. And I'll do each one gradually, just to get that loop to sit at the top. And you can keep going with that. So I kind of at this point want my ends to be fairly even. I will cut off any excess if I choose to add on a different amount of crystals. So if I've got one which is like 5 crystals, I will cut off any excess, but for now I want them all roughly to be the same length, and I'm just pulling them down just to tighten that loop at the top of the star. So my ear wire is now fixed in place. I could open it up if I needed to flip that round, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to consider this now to be the front, because obviously this is going to go through the back of the ear and my star is nicely in place. They're now nice and secure. There's no way that that is going to just fall off, especially when we add the crystals on and the crimp beads. It will all be fixed in place, providing you've closed that loop up nicely on the ear wire. That's all ready to go. So all I'm going to do now is kind of think about how I would like to have my little shooting star tail ends off. So how I've done it, and I'll just recap this, I've put 13 on these two each. I've put 10 crystals on these two here. The one in the middle's got 5, and then a longer tail of 15 behind it. You can do whatever you want with this, but I'm just going to start to kind of splay out my tiger tail pieces just to see where they naturally fall. So I'm going to want the ones in the centre to remain in the centre, and then I'm just going to kind of take 2 at the side. So just look at how they come through the hole in the bead. And you can move those into position and readjust if you need to. So I'd say that's the very front one. So I've basically got them almost as 3 pieces. So I'm now going to take my lovely crystal beads and I'm just going to trim them open. So when you get your strand, it's usually on a very fine piece of coloured wire. And I'm just going to open it up like so. So I'm going to start adding 13 onto the outer side ones. So again, making sure that I'm keeping my earring facing front. And then just take one of the ones that I want from the side. And I think I'll use it slightly towards the back. So you can pick your crystals up one by one, or you can thread them on by just lining them up like so. So I'm lining up that tiger tail on the strand, and I can just push them through like this. So just sliding them up. And as they're very small and very pretty crystals, they will still slide onto that tiger tail nice and easily. But sometimes if you're picking them up one by one, you might find it a little bit difficult just to find that drill hole because they're so small. So that, I think, is probably the quickest way to do it. What I did find is just by picking up however many I wanted between my finger and my thumb, I could pinch it and then they would keep in line. So I might do it that way as well. So I should have 13 crystals. Let me check. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'm just going to push that up towards the underneath of the star here. I'm now going to take my crimp bead and I'm just using one. Usually I'd always say, I'm going to double crimp, I'm going to double crimp. But today I'm not. One will be enough. So I'm just going to pop that down, and you can crimp these properly. If you've got crimping pliers, you can crimp it and kind of fold it back over into that bead shape. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in with a pair of pliers, chain nose or whatever. I'm going to push it up. So I'm holding onto the end of the tiger tail and I'm pushing those crystals up towards the underneath of the star and just flattening out the crimp beads just to hold it in place. I'm not going to trim it off just yet. What you could do is you could cut that now, or you could keep them all on and then just check it's all where you want it before you trim off. With that little bit of sunlight that's just coming through my window, you can see it's just catching those lovely crystals, making them very, very, very twinkly. Hello to alumni, I hope you're okay. So now I'm going to find the kind of matching strand on the other side, and I will pull that slightly out. I think that one will do. And I'm going to add 13 onto this as well. So I'm just going to line up my tiger tail, keeping my crystals on that strand, and then just push through. So just keeping it nice and lined up. That should allow that drill hole to stay in place. And just make it nice and quick for me to feed them on. Just push them up along the tiger tail. Give them a little wiggle if need be. And then I'm just going to count to check I've got the same amount on. So if you wanted to, you didn't have to splay it out. You could have them all the same. So you could just have 10 little crystals off an offshoot. You could make this longer if you really wanted to kind of accentuate that. You could have longer lengths of tiger tail with more crystals on. You could make them much shorter by just adding less crystals on. Entirely up to you how you would like to make them. But whatever you do, what you do to one, do to your neck, so you've got that nice kind of symmetry. So I've got 13 crystals onto this one as well, and then I'm just going to take another crimp bead out, slide that on. Oh, don't know where that went. Hi Tina, how are you doing? She says, hi Natalie, it's been a while. Where have you been? What have you been up to? I've been here, I've just changed my days, so I'm Mondays and Wednesdays now, instead of Mondays and Fridays. 10 o'clock UK time. So you can see it's slipped a little bit here. I want to just, when I crimp it, just going to take the crimp bead, not the crystal, and I'm just going to push up a little bit so that star is just directly above my crystals, and then a gentle little push just to flatten out that crimp bead. And you can see by pushing those up towards the star, it's giving me that lovely fluted kind of tail shape. Now I'm going to take another 2 strands. So again, I'm just going to see which one is the very one that's fallen front center. That's going to have my 5 on. The other one in the middle, I'm going to put 15 on. And then these ones here, I'm going to add 10 on too. So I'm going to take this one and this one, and I'm going to add 10 crystals on. I'll show you a different way of putting them on. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll pinch it between my finger. So I'll take, say, 5. Now I know you can't see them because they're so tiny. Just check I've got that one I want. And then I'll just keep it pinched between my finger, and the drill hole should stay lined up. So I can just slide them on that way. They are beautiful but dainty. So that might be a quick method of stringing them on instead of picking them up one by one. So checking I've got 10, and pushing that up, and then I'll get another crimp bead out and do the same. So sliding my crimp bead on to the end. I've done tassel earrings before with thread, and then using we were using the micro faceted gemstones, and I used one in a different colour at the end and just threaded back up. If you'd like to see that technique, I think I named it, did I name it Ursula? I think I named it Ursula because it reminds me a little bit of an octopus. So if you want to see that technique to make that kind of tassel earring, and they were made with gemstones, have a little look back on my playlist on YouTube or on the Totally Beads website, and you'll find that there. This makes the same look, but because I'm using the tiger tail, it's got that stiffness to it, so they don't kind of, they dangle, but there's no movement with it. It stays like a starburst. So sliding on the crimp bead, pushing up those crystals towards the top, so they sit underneath that star, and just with a pair of chain nose or flat nose pliers, I'm just going to flatten that crimp bead out. Of course, if you don't want those to look flat, use your crimping pliers, crimp it, and then slide it into the other section on your crimping pliers and fold that crimp over. Oh, Tina says, I got married in Ghana, been gone for some time. Congratulations, how beautiful. Oh, congratulations to you. That's lovely to hear. Well, I'm glad you're well, and I hope married life is treating you well as well. Okay, so now I'm going to find that other section, which is here, and I'm going to put 10 onto this bit too, whichever method you like. So I keep them pinched between my finger and my thumb, and I should be able to slide them on. Sometimes if it moves a little bit, I've lost the drill hole. There you go. So you can pick them up one by one. So I want 10 on this little shoot here. So it matches on the other side. Also, I'd imagine when you're making, you won't have the lamp right in front of your face, but you can see they're so twinkly. Just check that there's 10 on that one. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And push that up, and that will splay the others out as well. Just make sure that you're happy with your placement of where it's all sitting. As I say, you can move these tiger tail pieces and adjust them as you need. Taking my next little crimp bead, and I'm always crimping after I've put on each tail, because of course that's going to stop my beads falling off. Push it up, just look round the back and around it just to check that it's in position and fully pushed up. And then I'm just going to pop my pliers over the crimp bead, push up and push down. So I've got 13, and then I have 10. Now I'm going to use the very front one. I'd just like to have shorter with 5 on. How sparkly and pretty they are, really lovely. And then again, just taking another one of my crimp beads. And I want this to kind of sit at the front of my earring in between. So I'm going to push that up there. You will be starting to fight for space at the top, and that's going to push them out so they splay, I think, nicely. But you can add all the same on if you want to in terms of amount. Pushing up, just make sure that you're just pushing on the crimp bead. I'm going to use a different crimp bead for that. instead of pushing on the crystal, because you don't want to break your crystal. And I'm just going to give it a little pinch down. So checking that little crimp is just going to finish right underneath that crystal. And then the last one, which is kind of in the centre, I'm going to add 15 on 2. So 13 on 2, 10 on another 2, 5 on 1, and 15 on the other. This is just my design. You can change it if you want to. So I'm sliding them all on in between my fingers. Sometimes it can have a little bit of coating from that gorgeous metallic colour. I can just block it a little bit. So let's see how many I've got on so far. 8. 10. 11. 12, 13. And then the 2 on my table should make 15. Again, just check I'm happy with it where it's sitting. Get myself my last crimp bead out for this earring. Slide that on. And up. And crimp. So it's looking like this. Let's move those crystals out of the way for now. So what I'll do is I'll just check that all of my crimps are nice and secure. So they're holding firmly onto that tiger tail and nothing's going to fall off. And then all I need to do is come in with my cutters and I'm just going to trim off that excess tiger tail. Just below the crimp bead. So I'm trimming it nice and close so there's nothing sharp and scratchy. And then I'm just going to check to see if I need to readjust anything. I'm happy with how that looks, but if I wanted to, move some more to the side, I could do. Just need to kind of move it where I want to. You can also put little kind of bends in this, so you can see here by just giving it a little push, I can shape that tiger tail essentially because it's wire inside, and I can position that how I want to. And then all I've got to do is make my other earring. It's that straightforward, but I just think they're really, really pretty. Really straightforward make and something really nice to do with any extra tiger tail pieces that you might have. But you need very minimal materials. So I hope you enjoyed it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you back onto the website and show you those colours again. Don't forget, if you have spent over £15 and you're in the UK, make the most of that discount offer, which should last up until midnight tonight with code November24UK. That will give you your free delivery. These are the shooting star earrings. They are £3.50, I think they were. £3.50 for a pair of earrings, and there's lots of lovely colours to choose from. So let me see if I can share my screen again. I have to go big to go like this. Okay, so on the website, which is totallybeads.co.uk, you can see we've got the dark pink, the hematite, the light gold, the light green, we've got the sea green, the metallic silver, and the violet blue as well. They're all lovely and metallic shimmer. We are using some beautiful little star beads. Everything's in your rhodium finding, so all you need is what you get in your kit. Everything's there for you. You're using those micro crystal beads, your star beads, your earring hooks, your crimp beads, and your tiger tail wire. Your beautiful little star beads are a nice, delicate but yet chunky, a mighty little star, 6.5 millimeters. If you wanted to get extra of them, you can just add those into your basket as well. If you want to get any additional crystals, your micro crystal round beads, they're 1.5 millimeter and they're £2 a strand, and you get loads on there because they are dainty and very, very colourful. So you can always do a mix if you wanted to add, two different or more than one colour into your kit. So we've got all those lovely colours for you to choose from. £3.50 today, but also we have a UK offer on. It is only UK, I'm afraid, but that's free delivery if you spend over £15 until midnight tonight with code November24 UK. So I now have to make this big again. It's quite frustrating just to swap my pages over, and then I should do that one. It's very bright and sunny in here. It's gone really, really nice, but it's very, 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 very cold. Shelley says, lovely earrings. Thank you very much. Jan saying, looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Thanks. I'm going to be doing doing a stitch project with you. I'm doing a bracelet, I think, on Wednesday. I think it's a stitch beading one, so wish me luck with that. Kim says, love these earrings so much. Thank you for the tutorial. I'm gonna see it. There you go. Look, I can share stuff and everything now. Thanks, Kim. That's really nice of you. Tina's asking, I'm assuming she's asking me, how's my handsome son? He's good. He's at school today. Yeah, he's doing all right. We're all okay. Thank you very much for asking. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you like the little shooting star earrings. They're really, really cute. They beat about, in fact, I'll pop one in for you so you can see with this length how they hang. But of course, if you wanted to make them shorter, you'd just put less crystals on. Aren't they cute? Well, I think so anyway. Pauline says, great earrings. Thank you, Natalie. You're very, very welcome. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you can come and see me on Wednesday as well. I'll be here from 10 a.m. with some lovely little bracelets for you.